5-map series against Joe Academy, who is now DGen. They've won another league, the same league, twice. So when they were known as Valkyrie, they do have chips on their shoulder. They have wins. WICHITA Oblivion, on the other hand, though, are a little bit newer. But I have noticed that old Project Neo were a team that would get into their own heads. So hopefully they've come past that. I think another thing to mention, too, I don't know if WICHITA Oblivion has any coaches or supporting staff. I should have probably asked Gasher that. Gasher replied to that before the game, but I do know Project Neo has, they have Spiker, they have D16 Ebling, they have a Jolts, who has subbed in for them on multiple occasions. JJ calls him the Goach. Project Neo has support staff, which definitely helps them, solidify themselves as a very structured team. So I don't know, Consulate's definitely going to be interesting, as our first bans are Nomad and Thatcher. Very, very standard. And the ban from Project Neo is Valkyrie. Now, Jacob, we were talking about Neo's defensive bans.
We were.
And how they love banning Clash, except on one map. And you know what that map is?
This one.
Yeah.
But this is kind of one where you can let them get away with something like that, especially if you're not super confident that your opponent, as the team that defends first, is going to be the one to ban Valkyrie. Then that's almost like a requirement for a map like this. So I understand their wish to play Clash here, but if they were on defense first, it might have been a little bit different. Mostly because the fact that WICHITA Oblivion are on defense first meant if Valkyrie wasn't banned by Neo, there's a pretty darn good chance it would get played. So
yeah, especially with the Nomad ban.
Especially with the Nomad ban.
Yeah. One of the reasons, too, why this is the only map where they don't ban Clash is because of the infamous JJ console hold. Well, first of all, not a lot of teams play Clash on this map, and Valkyrie have a very good hold on the top floor, where JJ, also, again, disclaimer, Blastful is JJ. I've been calling him that for a year, and they already switched up Valkyrie to Neo on me, so I'm going to focus on that name on one at a time. Once I stop calling Neo Valkyrie by accident, I'll try and call him Blastful more. But JJ will like to hold Clash. He kind of hovers around the console desk. X24 plays Bathroom, Piece the Long Angle. Indy will play like Bosco Spot or whatever. So that's kind of like the only time we ever see Clash. I mean, on this map in general in T3.
All right. Welcome back to Consulate. We've already been here one time before this evening, and it's not the first time in CCS that we've seen Consulate played. For those of you who are just joining us, welcome back to CCS. Unfortunately, if you've been here with us already and you saw the last map and you're like, why is it Consulate again? Sorry, there's really much we can do about that, but...
Our bad.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a caster's problem. Anyway, we do to get on basement. The bog standard spot to play on. I think one thing I noticed from a T1 to T3 comparison is the idea that console actually still does get played a lot in T1 competition, but in lower competitions to that, the idea of playing the top 4 bomb site on Consulate has been continuing to slip with time and is growing increasingly less popular, mostly just because of the ways in which it can be played. We're seeing every other site get a lot more play these days, to the point that I don't believe that there really is any bad bomb site on this map, with the exception of the teams that opt to just completely avoid the top floor. So yet here we are on Garage. Indy, talked about him a little bit at the start. We used both those explosive charges to pop the Garage wall straight open with no denial attempted from WICHITA Oblivion. They didn't even bring anybody for wall denial. X24, it's down on an approach. Was he looking through the window or from top yellow?
I think Gasher was peeking yellow, judging by the positioning and the pings as well. So X24 will uncharacteristically nearly be that entry death. In fact, he's just going to go for the re-engage. He's confident despite being on the, pretty much 1 HP from any weapon on the defensive lineup, including the slightly weaker Vector and MP5 on Gasher. But those top floors being vacant allows Esteem to just walk into Piano and pretty much do whatever he wants. He'll dispatch of both a Goyo Shield as well as an Evil Eye, and there goes the second one, falling to the nade. So a lot of good utility clear coming out from Tater, using that sledge to the best of his ability. Of course, next up, after finding the utility, would be to go for picks, but instead, he'll be the one found, and that's 2 for Vladder. The entry player for WICHITA Oblivion finds a fantastic entry, but he's traded off by X24. That trade might be a little bit too late, as CZ is still top floor, and those are some fantastic opportunistic entries that Project Neo might not be able to recover from.
X24 gonna rotate back down instead. He's leaving CZ upstairs. He might not even still be aware that the Goyo is actually playing up top, but it's gonna be where this intel game comes into play. CZ will make the drop, find one player, and Diffuser down inside Piano. X24 has the ability to rotate back up if he wants to, but that's Blaz down, and Diffuser in Wichita's firm control. There's the peek, and there's CZ grabbing X24 by the vending machine, and now it's all left up to Indy, the man so far with the most impact of anyone in this game, because he's opened up the wall and has 1 kill. But with 30 seconds left, 3 players left to find, all of which are still sitting on the bomb site. This should be a pretty darn insurmountable task for the Thermite. He'll still have an opportunity to if he has the time, but it's whittling away. It's not on his side, and this definitely should be one in the win column for Wichita. Very, very blistering defense, and not clearing out the Goyo on the top floor definitely was the thing that brought them down.
And that's not really something that we're used to seeing from Neo. Remember in their game against, well, I don't know if you remember because I was casting with Jazzman, but I remember in their game against Neo, we really gave props to Neo for their ability to choke the defense at every opportunity. They went for every roam clear they could, and as they slowly worked their way down, they had all the angles covered, they had intel, they had everything going for them, and eventually the defenders would either have to take the challenge and lose because the attackers have full intel, or get caught on their rotate back. So uncharacteristically, Project Neo will really fumble on their... I mean, they didn't really attempt to roam clear. It was just Tater got caught off guard by the Jaeger, and Vladder found 2, and then CZ was able to drop and kill 2 more. So Project Neo, a little bit of a either lapse of judgment or maybe not enough intel on their side to know about the Jaeger and the Goyo. But I mean, that's the 2 entry players for Wichita Oblivion doing their jobs. Now we're going to rotate, like you said, not up to the top floor as that's fallen out of favor. People don't like dealing with the windows. Instead, we'll go down to lobby.
Just a little bit more on the roam game might have netted Neo a chance in that round, but it was WO's round through and through. It was slated that way to start with, and it just continued that way until the round was over. So, something we haven't seen this entire CCS season is this team of Wichita Oblivion. Not the same team that won through the qualifier. They've obviously had to make a couple of roster moves in the past couple of weeks, but we didn't see them play last week at all due to Ablation needing to forfeit because they weren't able to have all of their players join at the appropriate time on Thursday, which means this is the first look that we're seeing of this team in CCS. This is not the first time that we've ever seen this squad, but in terms of giving them this kind of exposure in CCS, it is the first opportunity to see what they can do, and with 1 round win under their belt, maybe the experience, that constant duo, the old Rise Nation duo, even before then, of Acid in England, seeing if they can't continue to work a little bit of magic in CCS.
Yeah, and I think that's something else we can mention is the experience. Wichita Oblivion and Project Neo, at least on Wichita Oblivion, CZ, Vladder, and Gasher have played comp just as much as Project Neo. They are all 8 of them, extremely experienced T3 players. I think the newest player to comp is probably like X24 or Indy. But that's T3 experience. Acid and England have just as much experience, but at the T2, T1 level. So that's something that's definitely going to benefit their squad, that might ground them as Tater goes downstairs, but JJ's there with a frag onto England. The smoke inside a projector, an extremely powerful and influential position, will now be flushed out thanks to the Capitao. Tater, well, he's still downed, and he looks to be irrecoverable. Vladder playing with the Vigil will avoid the drone for now, destroy it, and dart away as the window behind him is broken by a steam. And it looks like Project Neo don't have much of an interest. No, never mind. Indy's going to drop the hatch. They'll be able to recover Tater, so we're back at a 5v4 advantage in Neo's favor.
Yeah, the Vigil was definitely trying to bait the downed Jaeger and see if he couldn't find one more kill. That's why he was using his ability to ensure that he was hidden from drones the whole time, but still didn't net anything, and by the time he was successfully droned out, he had to retreat, and that gave Indy the coverage to come back in and get the revive. X24 already come back up the Vista staircase, but Acid will equalize the round count and take down one of the sole hard breacher in this case, but Blazville has already moved into the lobby bomb site. Acid is not totally aware of his position, but Blazville is sticking the plan. It goes down, but not before Vladder grabs his own double kill, and there's already so much pressure happening on the front of the bomb site. Actually, no, it does not get secured Capital was killed at the very last split second, which means Esteem needs to make a little bit more impact before he's able to go for the plant of his own. But he and X24 are split across the map from one another. X24 needs to find the frag, and he does. CZ should have won the fight, but he absolutely botches it. So now Esteem knows that there's more sitting on the piano side. In fact, both players now, WICHITA Oblivion, are sitting in bathroom/piano in the hallway waiting for the approach, and Neo need to be the ones to make a move as quickly as possible. Esteem not getting super aggressive quite yet, but X24 has already come down the spiral staircase. It has been recovered now by Esteem. Here's the coverage from X24. Is anyone else from WICHITA Oblivion about to peek this? The answer appears to be yes, but it comes a little bit too late. Diffuser goes down. Acid grabs one fragment, now needs to find the Ash on the outside. He gets nabbed. It turns into a 1 versus 1. Gasher needs to make the rotate and find the Ash with only a couple of seconds left to take this gunfight. There still is plenty of time, but who can win the peak fight? It's a back and forth contest, and Gasher is the one to claim the frag. It very nearly falls in Project Neo's favor, but Gasher's got the save. WICHITA Oblivion go up 2-0.
Bomb defusing attempt failed.
What a round from WICHITA Oblivion, nearly slipping out of their fingers, but the thing that really sealed the deal in my mind was Vladder. On the Vigil, being able to just take Circle Desk control, kill one of the players outside covering, and then swing JJ just in the nick of time. I mean, there was barely a second left on that diffuser plant timer. Vladder was there quick enough. Denies it. Sure, he gets traded by Esteem, but now Esteem and X24 have to try and make something happen. It's not a post-plant. So while Esteem is planting, it's essentially a 1v2 for X24 to cover. He loses his fight against the Maestro. Now it's a 1v2 for Esteem. Sure, he gets the one frag, but I think he definitely played a little bit too close. He was scared of the windows, didn't have any intel on where Gasher was, and a close fight like that, especially around the pillar, I mean, Gasher knows exactly what corner Esteem is in, so that's kind of, in my mind, that's an advantage for Gasher. And now, unfortunately, Acid looked like he wasn't able to pick it up, but he'll get onto Malusi. And that's
one of the best ones to ram into.
A fantastic operator for any site on consulate, as well as a C4.
Nothing can stop me.
As well as a C4, which just aids in the minefield that is Archives Tellers.
That's a oh no. Anyway, moment.
Yeah. Oh no! The Dacia Sandero has been delayed once again.
Oh no.
Anyway.
Of all the places you can bust those memes out. Stop T1. I didn't have a chance.
I wonder who in chat watched UK Top Gear.
I think I've had a whole bunch of the UK Top Gear videos come back into my recommended because of. Have you seen the Bottom Gear meme video? Has that showed up in your
Bottom Gear? I've not seen.
Bottom Gear is one of those. It's such a meta thing to make fun of like how British people can be, like absolutely crapping all over the accent. It's hilarious. You gotta find it later. But I wonder if that retake stat is correct. Actually, can I see that retake stat one more time? I'm over here fixated on a British television and I wasn't able to see it. There you go.
Yeah.
For the entire season, the defense has won 3 out of the past 11 post-plant rounds.
Wow.
Really? Okay.
Not a lot of retakes.
WICHITA Oblivion were definitely not favored to win that round, so good on Gasher for pulling out the clutch, I suppose.
Him and Acid both getting a kill each. And now, Project Neo will be tasked with, again, stepping around the explosive, tiptoeing around the C4s that lie beneath inside of Archives as they try and inevitably, probably take tellers. Now, something we didn't talk about is Vladder is on Capcan. Not an operator we see a lot. I don't know how effective he'll be against Project Neo, who are very thorough, but hey, maybe they're placed closer to site. They're banking on the fact that Project Neo will take a long time to clear. But as JJ tries to go through the floor, he'll take a little bit of damage, and he'll actually get the pick on CZ. Meanwhile, Vladder goes down to X24, so the entries that we saw going the way of WICHITA Oblivion so far this game have now swung back in Neo's favor.
Definitely more time for Project Neo to keep on making that impact, as we're only 2 rounds in, so it's not as though 2 rounds is the be-all end-all for how the rest of the match will progress. But yeah, they've already started to break the curse of that entry frag, and now we'll see if it's possible for them to capitalize. The only thing is that experience factor, Acid and England both still alive, and now Blaz been taken down pretty considerably on health, but he will escape with his life for the moment. Something else to keep in mind, WICHITA Oblivion have all 3 Nitro Cells still up, though I do believe Vladder also had one of his own, so that will be out of commission, but there's still plenty of opportunity for Wichita Oblivion to deny from below should the plant come through, and that seems to be what Indy is attempting to drone for himself. Drones also across the map as Blaz is doing it, as Buck upstairs. The approach for Neo still does appear to be to enter in from the Visa side of things and try to plant on the second floor rather than making a bottom floor push, as all three members of WO have rotated downstairs, so Indy can rush back through. The Pulse is still alive, by the way, which means it's infinitely easier to detect where Indy might attempt to go for this plant. However, it's not set in stone quite yet. They're not making their execute. They're still a little bit pensive. They're waiting for the opportunity, and now here goes Indy trying to get this diffuser down.
He's stuck inside the site. He'll try to go for it, and that's enough to distract England. He'll take out JJ, but not before Gasher falls, and Acid goes down as well. Now it's just the Pulse in the 1v4, but unfortunately, again, distracted by the drop of JJ. He wasn't able to deny it with his C4. He's still got it in his pocket, but I'm not sure how much use that's going to be, especially as he gets swung from the spiral stairs. Esteem with the final kill, and Neo will finally end the streak from Wichita Oblivion. They take their first attack round on Archives.
So WO have an opportunity to clutch that out. They still have a Pulse below. They got all the explosives they require to stop a plant from going down. However, when you're down 3 to 5 in man count, all you need to do if you're Project Neo is put more pressure on the defending team to, if not kill them, at least force them out of position or distract them from using those C4s while the plant goes down. That's exactly what Buck does. He drops all the way from admin office downstairs to put pressure onto the closet, drops hatch, gets one kill, gets traded. Someone else down there, however, is in a position to go for the final couple of kills necessary, and then it's all of a sudden just down to the Pulse, who can't do anything, is ineffectual in a 1v4, even with a Nitro up, because of that attacking distraction, wasn't able to have his scanner out to know where the diffuser was going down. And besides, he's in a 1 versus 4. He's not able to deny every other member of Project Neo from going for the diffuser if he's only able to destroy one player with a Nitro Cell if they're not grouped up. And that's what Neo were doing, believe it or not. They didn't have a lot of players that were bunching close together. They were opting to stay a little bit more spread out because they're aware of the consequences of spacing. When you're playing on that bomb site in particular, you don't want to lose too many people to one Nitro Cell blast, so they played it exceptionally well. We head back downstairs. Again, another part of the common rotation. We're not heading up to console, at least for Wichita Oblivion's defense, from what I can tell. But if Neo want to do it when they're on their defensive half, then we shall see that. That'll be in 3 rounds time from right now.
Yeah, and I think something that we definitely have to highlight is that timing from Project Neo. And you know what enabled that? They finally cleared the roam. They cleared that top floor spectacularly. I mean, those first 2 picks came within, what, maybe a minute?
Yeah.
And they were already in a 5v3. Like you said, you know, when you have that man advantage, you can go for that distraction play. Indy planted in the middle of the bomb site, waited, timed it for the Pulse to be like, hey, he's planting here, someone with a C4, come. And as he rotates off the plant, distracts the Pulse again, that's when JJ drops, you know, trades, another kill 2, blah, 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 1v4. So, this is where Project Neo had fumbled last time, because they didn't clear the roam. 2K for Vladder, 2K for CZ, and the lockout of the round. I mean, you just see Project Neo is going to dedicate people to the top floor where CZ was playing. He just dropped down the piano hatch, and I think Vladder got his kills from like around circle desk, which, I mean, he absolutely destroyed that guy outside the front doors. Already, good utility clear from Project Neo. They dispatch a Goyo shield, they dispatch Evil Eye. The only difference is Tater is joining his team outside the breach instead of taking that early piano pressure, because he knows that there might be those roamers lurking above him.
So CZ in the same position as he was before, but the question is, can Neo adapt to it? But Acid actually gets the opening frag, and down goes Blaz, who had a lot of impact and ensured that Project Neo had the space necessary to contest in the previous round. Not somebody you want to lose. It means your smoke is also completely nullified, and if you wanted the smoke plant, that plant's gone out the window. Gasher also applying a little bit more pressure, but Tater actually has not recovered diffuser for the moment. That's still sitting on the outside, so Neo can kind of reassess their options. However, a lot of this seems to be the same for Neo. X24 as Zofia is watching the yellow stairs cross. Indy's just kind of peering into garage, waiting for an opportunity to strike. It almost seems like if they wanted a smoke plant, that's still going to be the case, but they'll just try to do it without the additional smoke cover. And again, Goyo is still upstairs and can drop the hatch in a moment's notice, though it does seem as though X24 and Esteem are kind of waiting for that moment, as CZ will continue to just sit on the drop, wait for someone to come downstairs to him.
Yeah, like you said, they're waiting for the exact same play as Indy will pick off Vladder from outside the garage door. Must have been a nice shot as it was only a few bullets fired, and Vladder will even give him the kudos. CZ's still lurking upstairs. This round, I think a lot of it is going to come down to timing from CZ, whether or not he's going to catch either a Steam or X24 off guard and even get that trade. Indy does have the diffuser in pocket, but you have England playing behind Pillar, Gasher inside of Pipes with a C4 ready. He'll toss it up to Yellow, curiously enough, but X24 is there to shoot it just in time. Here's the sight push, though. Indy now in behind the black car. No plant just yet. He's very wary of the pressure. He's going to go for it under tuck. Is a kill from a Steam onto Gasher, but CZ trades back X24. They can deny the plan if he just vaults over. He will. In fact, there's kills from the Maestro. It's a triple kill from England, including the TK, and that'll deny the plant on 000. Wichita Oblivion will take round number 4.
No adaptation from Project Neo whatsoever. The Capitao dies, and what does everyone do? Stay in their exact positions and not force a take from perhaps a different side of the map. I know when you've already invested a lot of utility in taking the garage wall down that you still want to go for it. You're like, well, the opening is here. We just need to make sure that we have people in the right positions, hold angles, cover the guy who's planting. Surely it'll work. It didn't, though. As soon as the Capitao went down, I think the plan for Project Neo basically kind of went out the window, and they opted to not change up their attack strategy and just kind of wing it. And that was something that Wichita Oblivion could very easily take advantage of, considering the Maestro's position behind the white van. So good on them for keeping control under pressure, despite still losing one. What was it? Vladder died to Indy, who was playing the Thermite, it was a very oddly timed kill. I was like, wait, how the hell did that happen? But they still make it work. And at the end of the day, Project Neo just not demonstrating enough right now to suggest that when the cards are against them, that they can change on the fly.
Yeah, and like I said, you know, the timing from CZ, really good. He was able to drop Piano Hatch. I think he's the one that killed a Steam outside the piano windows, and because X24 was playing by the yellow door, he didn't really have a crossfire on CZ. CZ was able to just push down yellow, kill X24, or I think England killed X24 when he was swinging the white van, and CZ was able to just hop over tuck. I mean, you know, England was the one to get the kill, but I think even if England didn't, it would have been CZ. So a really good, well-timed flank from CZ. England just on the Maestro, just hit his shots. And Project Neo, I mean, there was like a slight adaptation to trying to hold CZ, but that was the only thing they changed, and it didn't work. So back to lobby we go. Again, another site that Wichita Oblivion were successful on because Project Neo couldn't take the top floor. There was still one guy up there in, what was it, like a 3v2 or something like that?
I want to say it was, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Minute to go, nobody's engaging. Actually, England's still setting up a little bit, as it looks like, but that's just a whole bunch of default areas that still need to be acquired. Admin control has been obtained and forced by X24, but he's actually the only one with still Tater and Indeed downstairs who have not repelled in just yet, so it's a lot of solo pressure, but Wichita Oblivion are beginning to rotate players back toward the site, and England's already given up control of Projector, even though he's still sitting inside it. It could be something X24 decides to force, and you're hearing the same ping noises that we are, so somebody is very clearly attempting to alert to the position of the attacking team, but at least for right now, X24 is trying to do his best to solo drone. He does have cover from Blaz on Capitao, who is on the suicide balcony, but the position of England inside connector is not known just yet. Gasher downstairs also doesn't have an nitro cell, so he can't deny. He's instead probably looking for a moment to run out of main or rotate back up yellow, which it seems as though he's still doing. And CZ now will also begin to head back downstairs if an opportunity opens up. Tater will be the one to get the opening shot on Gasher, so that downstairs roam needs a little bit more help, so it's a good thing CZ was already rotating back down, but already Wichita find themselves on the back foot, and Neo seems like they already have a different way to take lobby, and it seems to be working.
It's kind of back and forth between opening picks and success for the team who got that in the round, so Project Neo will be praying for that trend to continue, as Wet Meat England upstairs will fall to X24. Yet again, JJ carrying the diffuser will go down, but that's a great flank by Tater. The man who got the kill inside of Visa will push up the hallway and catch Vladder in the back. JJ has also been recovered, and now we're in a 5v2. It's CZ and Acid the last two defenders, to try and clutch up with 30 seconds left. The Capitao is still alive, so JJ will be able to use his utility, and it's going to be a Steam to try and get the plant down. Indy is dead. A C4 comes out, but I think it was shot in midair. A Steam was able to get off the plant in time, and he will resume it. CZ no longer with any kind of plant denial, but he'll get the kill onto JJ, quickly traded off by the planter himself. Acid over by the backside by Piano will fell X24. Now it's a 2-on-1. He's got the evil eyes though. Esteem will have to move. I think he takes it out, but he's very low HP. One bullet from Acid puts him down. He's gonna start getting the plant down. It's on 000. Tater needs to cover. He's hiding behind the circle desk. He doesn't have the angle onto Acid, but Acid can find the planter. Where is Tater? Acid will deny it on 000, and Wichita Oblivion steal away round number 5.
No, Tater was right behind
he
circle
was right
desk.
there.
He was there, but watching the wrong angle. He thought he was going to come from bathroom. Instead, Acid has the flank, comes around the opposite side, and Ash dies attempting to get the diffuser down. That's just unfortunate positioning, and England is able to take full advantage of a round. Correct me if I'm wrong, Crow. Neo should have won that.
It was a 2v5 from CZ and Acid.
Yeah. And I think Acid put in most of the work, if not all of the work, in the last 10 seconds. Did CZ get a kill?
CZ got 1. Acid got...
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they
Acid got 1. He killed the guy backside, and then he downed a Steam. So that was a Neo... That was Tater not looking in the right direction, and I don't know whether that's down to miscommunication, a call from one of his teammates saying he's pushing benches instead of anti, even though, I mean, he's Maestro. You should probably hear him. He's a 3 armor. His heavy freaking footsteps can be heard, you know, half a mile away, but I guess, you know, maybe the comms were clogging up Tater's ears or what have you, but Tater, the man who started Neo off on the right foot with 2 kills out of the 3 they had found, unfortunately going to be part of the reason why they lost it, just not covering the right angle and Esteem being exposed to Acid. So, fantastic job to Acid, doing most of the work in that. Of course, CZ killing Esteem's cover by the front door to start that clutch off. And now Project Neo, I mean, we could be 3-2 right now. We could be looking at a potential even split. But Neo dropping the ball is going to put them at the 4-1 disadvantage. They need to win this round if they want to keep themselves in this map.
Well, I think we spoke a little bit too soon about whether or not we'd see console. The Wichita have decided to use it, but as the last round on their defense and not worry about playing split again because they lost it the last time they were trying to defend Archives and Tellers. So, opt for the 1 bomb site that we have not seen, and we'll see what Wichita can bring on this site instead. A lot of it will still be a pretty similar setup, seemingly to how Lobby was defended in the last round. However, Acid has been moved into a position where he can still watch basically everything by himself, but he'll get peeked from Suicide Balcony, and CZ's not in a position to assist. Blast downs him and finally finishes him off. So the intel and the clutch factor that Acid had in the last round is completely nullified. Now WO need a different solution to stop a potential plant. It's not in the cards just yet. However, CZ might not be aware that the Ash is peeking him. The intel does come through. He's trying to watch his own crossfire. The 1 comes in and he finds both frags. 1 at the bottom, a spiral and 1 outside. Both kills in very quick succession. He can't get the trade. Can Neo? Now Blaz, Indy, and X24 are all that's left for Neo to try to reclaim some composure.
Wow, that was the perfect pinch for Neo. They had everything going for them, and CZ was just better. Turned around, found the kill onto Tater, and just 180'd Esteem. Good night to both of those entry players for Neo, and now they find themselves on the back foot. CZ even now can still go back downstairs and try to deny a projector play with that C4, but spotting the leg is X24. The angle works out in the favor of the Zofia, despite CZ having the high ground. A little counter to the pop culture reference. Star Wars, if you know the quote. But now, we are at an even man count. We're back to 3-3, 40 seconds. It's not crunch time just yet for Neo. They still have a little bit of time to try and maybe get some extra intel, set up some drones, maybe use more of their utility. They still have stuns on the side of Indy. You still have almost full utility on X24, but now is where the gas canisters come into play. Gasher has 1 left in his pocket. He can deny another 10 seconds, but it's going to be a window repel from Indy. He's going to try and hop through the windows. I guess 24 will find Gasher from top spiral, and now the plant attempt will be denied. Flatter finds the jump in, another one onto JJ. It's all X24 in a 1v2, and England will find the last kill. It looked like it could have been a round win for Project Neo. They will fumble in the 3v3, and it's a 5-1 half for Wichita Oblivion.
X24 trying to create a lot of this pressure seemingly by himself, and a lot of it isn't even that he has someone else droning for him and he's playing basic entry roles. Even that is something that he's known for. The problem is he's also solo droning. He's trying to find the avenues of interest that no one else on the side of the defense has covered by themselves and see if he can't try to force his way in. And every time he's doing that, yeah, he's finding kills, but the rest of his team are not able to win their gunfights, which puts him in a really disadvantageous position, and then he can't win his own because it's a 2v1 or a 3v1, and he finds himself pinched. Other times, he's just caught out. He has been the first frag, I don't believe, this entire game, so still a little bit of saving grace for him. However, Neo are looking extremely disconnected, at least for the moment. Wichita, though, going back up to console was the play. As soon as they lost lobby, sorry, they didn't lose lobby. As soon as they lost the split site, they decided it was optimal to go to something that they hadn't revealed their strategy on, or Neo hadn't maybe been as prepped for, and now it's at a 5-1. Wichita, in their first map in CCS, are already 2 rounds away from putting themselves up as we head to Theme Park.
And again, I honestly think if Wichita Oblivion win consulate, and the match is done and dusted, because yes, Project Neo could take theme, and we're at a 1v1, but in my mind, Wichita Oblivion have the edge on Cafe. Of course, you know, we won't know unless we get there, so I can't call it early. Just my thoughts, my 2 cents. I know no one asked. It's my job to give it anyway.
I didn't ask, Crow.
I know. I think Wichita Oblivion thought it was going to be a garage defense, judging by the Thermite pick from Gasher, as Thermite is quite literally useless on a lobby take. That was an early spawn peek attempt from X24, not even able to find a single bullet on the player he found by the outside half wall. So now, Wichita Oblivion going into these later rounds, that might have been a wasted spawn peek attempt. It could have been a free kill for the round, but now Wichita Oblivion might be a little bit warier approaching these windows.
It also does seem as though the roam clear game from Wichita Oblivion will be a little bit stronger than what we saw from Neo, but time will tell if it ends up being effective. And a quick frag stat, England's already in contention to have the highest KPR of the season, which at this moment isn't surprising for someone who's played in T1, in T2. He's played everywhere and has played this game for a really long time. I'm absolutely not surprised by that. And so far, sitting at 5-3, he is putting in the work. He hasn't had clutch moments, per se. That's been left up to Acid, who actually has a bit of a higher KD at the moment, but absolutely something that he can continue to work around. Actually, no, I misspoke there. That stat was about Acid, not England, or was it? Wait. It was about England, but England's only played 1 game and Acid has a higher KD, so I'm now actually confused about if that stat is accurate.
Doesn't make any sense.
That makes no sense.
England can't have above a 1.0 KPR if he's got 5 kills in 6 rounds. That's wrong, but CZ will have above a 1.0 KPR. CZ will get the first kill on the JJ. That is smoke dead. There is a frag, but it's Thermite. Who cares if he dies on a lobby take? And Vladder will tack on as well. Tater now dead. Both SAS operators hit the floor. X24 there with a trade, but he'll be refragged himself by England. England will now try and get the plant down, and there's no denial from Neo. Indy and his team are so far and away from the site, they have nothing to say about it. Now a post-plant, it's a 1v3 for his team as Indy goes down. He's able to drop CZ and finish him off, but he's still got 2 to find. Acid and England, the Rise Nation duo, the PL duo on the Lion and the Sledge. No Lion scans and no nades, so pretty started utility. All they are guns. But his team is letting the time bleed away. He has no intel on where these last 2 players are. He's just going to make a gambit, try and run up yellow stairs. He knows there's someone covering from the hatch. I believe it's Acid on the Lion. Here comes the peek, but the DMR will win it out. Wichita Oblivion take a very swift plant on round number 7.
Hit your Thermite Casher. I really do be like that. Okay, so, no, the stat should have been on Acid and not England. I know it's difficult. Oh, no, it shouldn't be that difficult to distinguish the two, but considering the two of them have been playing on teams for a really, really long time, that it doesn't make sense if you do confuse one for the other. But we sit on match point now. One very quick round that came down to a plant at about the minute and 11-second mark. which meant that there was a lot of room clearing on WO's side of things. They discovered top floor was something that they had all the pressure that they needed in the world. Only 3 players on site. So what do? Bum rush site, get the kills they need, get plant in position, and the other 2 members of Project Neo are nowhere close to attempting to move in with enough time to get the diffuser counter diffused. Good job, WO, for recognizing that, and now Neo are on the back foot. Now, this is Wichita Oblivion's pick. Not the end of the world if Project Neo lose it, because they're heading to a map that they are most assuredly known for, that we kind of expect them to take already in Theme Park. But Crow, something you were talking about in the pregame is the idea that if Wichita Oblivion can successfully close this one out, they win one more round, they win Consulate. If we go to Cafe, you kind of think that that's something that they also probably have the advantage in too, right?
10 seconds to insertion.
Yeah.
Yeah?
5 seconds left
Yeah.
before insertion.
Oh, Flatter's Twitch, he broke the mirror.
Attackers objective is
That's so
to defuse the
mean.
bomb.
Now
doing-
that bottom floor hold is more exposed.
He's doing his job.
You know, which Project Neo actually hold archives top down very similarly to the way Aerial Arise do it. I always like to call it like the Aerial Arise hold, but you know, they're not the only team that. Now, CZ, who has gone an average of 1 for 1 literally every single round, will yet again be on the entry. Because those mirror windows are popped, they can just kind of walk through cafeteria and walk down the blue hall, but JJ's on top of it. A great reaction. It'll get traded by Acid, and there we go. Site control in the favor of Wichita Oblivion, like, they didn't even need to push in. However, they do not have diffuser control. Diffuser control lies in Gasher's hands, who, speaking of, will get the kill on X24, and he'll fell the Vigil, but Gasher's all the way by Yellow Stairs. But I mean, with the way Neo are playing, he's gonna have a free beeline in Archives.
Wichita seemed like they had the advantage very, very quickly, but they're just trying to open up an avenue for Gasher to come in and try to get that diffuser down. But the problem is, everyone from Neo is also downstairs, which means how much control does Wichita actually retain of the site right now? Gasher's still trying to do work from the opposite side, but Esteem with a Nitro Acid still cleaning up on the inside. And now it's all on Tater. 1 kill. That does down diffuser, so there's absolutely a chance, but he is spotted by the 417. Another quick frag. Tater in a 1 versus 1 against England. Can he pull this off? There's still an opportunity for Wichita to pull this out, but Tater, can he be the man of the hour and secure 1 round to stop the bleeding and give Neo a chance? In the 1 versus 1, diffuser's been reclaimed, and what meets England with the SMG-11 swings on the hallway, pre-fires exactly on the Mozzie's face, and we head to Theme Park with Wichita up by 1 map.
Wow. 7-1. A much, much more dominant scoreline than I had ever imagined Consulate to go. Hate that. It doesn't work as well as it should, but we're on Theme Park. Neo's map pick, the map that they're currently, at least in league play, undefeated on. Will Wichita Oblivion break that streak like they broke Neo's spirit on Consulate? We'll just have to see as Wichita Oblivion get the first ban. You think it'll be a Thatcher?
You think it'll be a Thatcher? How about a Nomad? Safe bet?
Maverick. It's neither.
There we go. Maverick I like. There's still a couple of other options that Neo can ban out here, though, considering they were the ones to take down, I believe it was Thatcher themselves. They might go for it again, because Wichita are starting on defense for the 2nd round in a row. However, considering how Consulate swings towards being more of an attacker-sided map if the attacking team knows what they're doing, and Theme Park still is a bit of a defender bastion at this stage in the game. That's not an unsurprising ban. There's the Clash ban. We were waiting for Neo to do this.
Yes.
And they did. It just
Do not
couldn't
like
be
dealing with them.
Yeah, but again, the reason why they were the ones to ban Valkyrie last time is because they were defense 2nd, did not want to provide the opportunity for Wichita to play Valk against them. However, Wichita say, no, we don't need this, even though we are on defense 1st, proving me wrong in a split second. It turns out additional intel will come from other operators. We did see a lot of Maestro played by Acid when they were on defense, so they were only needing to use it on a couple of rounds, but it was still definitely effectual. And look at that, he's already going back to it. That's no surprise here.
Maestro, of course, a good operator everywhere, pretty much. There's really no site where you're like, Maestro, nah. He's one of those universals. As Vladar will yet again 6th pick to the Kapkan. Vladar, an affinity for the Russian operator.
The only place that you'd ever see someone 6th pick the Kapkan would be CCS.
Nah, we've seen it in pro play. Remember
where?
Fabian was on G2 and won a 1v3 as Kapkan after downing 2 different players with his traps. I remember
Wait, Fabian was on G2?
Yes. It was on Villa. He was inside of Master. He downed the Maverick inside of Walk-in Closet, picked up the kill. The last 2 players tried to go through the statue door from Red Landing. One player got down by the Kapkan trap. The other got distracted by the pickup, and Fabian got both kills. I remember that. I don't know why I remember that play, but I remember it.
Is that the one example you use every time you see someone 6th pick back to Kapkan? You're like, oh, hey, this one time Fabian was on the team. He's no longer on. He did this thing. It's just like your fallback every time.
I mean, you know. The main point is that Kapkan finds his use in A, teams that get a little bit ahead of themselves on the roam clear and end up just walking into doorways before checking them, or B, putting the Kapkans nearer to the site. If you know the attacking team takes a long time to clear, and eventually when crunch time comes, they really don't have time to look down at their feet, and they end up rushing into them. And I think Project Neo are one of those slower teams, which is why Vladar is taking advantage of it. Or he just likes Kapkan into Kung Fu.
Thatcher still has not seen a map in CCS because he has 100% overall ban rate.
Ooh, British
That's
people.
every single series in North America for Season 5. He has not been seen a peep, around nothing. At least for right now, X24 takes the first fight. Down goes CZ, who's trying to get the cafe peek, but at the very least, there will be a frag across the map as Gasher, as Mute takes down the Ash, who repelled into break room.
What is this?
He's just trying to get a little bit more pressure. Now Gasher goes for a run out. One more on repel. He can't secure the kill. There's still one more across the map, but Blaz will knock Gasher out. He understands his position and just watches the window. He's got the pick. That's an utter whiff from Gasher. Couldn't rotate back in, but Vladar now trying to make this Kapkan pick worth something more than just the surprise factor. Falls on Indian Blaz now to make another impact as Vladar gets caught out and does eventually fall to the AK-74M of Indy. So, a minute and a half in, 6 kills on the board, still 4 more left to find. Who pulls it out of the bag?
That is a minute and a half. I mean, 60% of the lobby is dead on a throne room attack. Very hectic first half of the first round, I guess, as JJ will go ahead and open the yellow wall. They'll also put a set of X-Pyros, I think, on the split hatch, but there's a jammer. It's blocking the rest of his charges. He can't fully open up the wall because of it. I mean, I don't know if maybe he wants to go above and, shoot it through the floor because the armory ceiling is destructible, but for now, he'll just leave it be. There's 45 seconds left, and no, he is going to try and go for that vertical play. It looks like the Kapkan's corpse is blocking it, but no, he almost gets caught by the C4. Or no, that was a Kapkan trap. Never mind, it's Maestro and Smoke. There is no C4 on the board, so that was a Kapkan trap. JJ, his legs nearly cut off as England playing with the FMG9 finds one. Acid waits for the drop down, and he finds the second. Wichita Oblivion take round number 1 as they just lock the last 2 players out of the site.
So Neo have a multi-prong anti-roam game that doesn't net anything. So, okay, hold on. Go back to the very beginning of the round. X24 against Jaeger. Was it Vladar or CZ playing Jaeger?
CZ.
Was it CZ on Jaeger? Okay, so...
Vladar was Kapkan.
Right, there we go. So... the first kill is the Sophia on the Jaeger, who's ill-advisedly, by the way, peeking through the cafe door, and X24 easily wins that fight. He's been doing that as Sophia all game, with the exception of a couple of rounds when he wasn't able to do much with Zoph. He's been pretty darn on point so far. But then we see Gasher nab an incoming Esteem on Ash through break, and there's no additional coverage. And then it swings back into Project Neo's favor because Wichita Gasher wasn't able to secure the kill on mute as he leaps out the window, so now it's a 3 versus 4, but then turns immediately into a 3 versus 3, then 2 more kills happen, we sit at a 2v2 before we even totally understand what's happening. But Neo had roam or anti-roam operators set up to take a couple of different site avenues, and when push came to shove, they weren't really able to win their gunfights. The last 2 people alive were players sitting on site, however, so it was trade for trade back and forth. Neo clear the roamers out, but still don't have enough time or utility left to contend with the last 2 players of Wichita. I believe it was both Acid and England remaining on the bomb site, waiting for Neo to approach them, and that was basically all that she wrote.
Yep, smoking Maestro. A 3-star hotel in okay, alright. Thank you. If I ever visit Wichita, Kansas, I'll...
This is what
be sure to
happens when we
reference
correct
that
them
stat.
on a stat that they got wrong. They all of a sudden feel like they
Can't
can't
believe it.
give us actual stats anymore, so they're just like, hey,
All
fun
they
fact time!
had to do was use a calculator. And I just did it in my head. I am so disappointed in whoever did that math stat before that got it wrong. But,
It's okay. We
Vlad,
love and appreciate everyone on CCS staff, but sometimes
We
we
do.
will tell you if you're being stupid.
exactly. That
Mwah,
is,
we love you though.
That's the sign of a great friendship. Telling you when you're dumb. But I think we've also established the fact that Vladder is a monster on the 9x19 VSN. A huge part of why that defense was successful is him just kind of whipping around in bathroom and killing 2 people before he was refried by Indy.
Yep.
But Project Neo are establishing themselves on the east side of the map, going for the cash 2-bunk take through initiation and office. CZ takes a whole crap ton of damage, I believe thanks to the Goyo shield he was playing behind. X24 clearing that out using his impact. There was actually nothing protecting it either, strangely enough. I mean, he didn't even have to use any burn. That's odd.
Still kind of waiting for Neo's approach at least right now. Gasher and Esteem now take the bathroom/vault fight, but Gasher will back away. So will Esteem, actually. They both peek, they both leave again. I think they're both kind of waiting for someone else to come in, but no, actually, it's the Ash waiting for Blastbolt to come in, but the vault position has not been cleared out yet. Gasher will not shoot the X-Kairos charges because he's still looking towards the bathroom to attempt to deny. He will shoot at least a little bit, but there's still an angle that can be opened, and now Vladder is attempting to help from the break room side as well. It's Blaz and Esteem, both just trying to force the issue on Vault. However, Gasher now has evacuated, and it just leaves Vladder at the beginning of initiation. That's the only real pressure here, is Wichita's beginning to rotate everyone back towards Bug.
Well, X24 does have Cafe control, but will it amount to much as Vladder takes out Indy? Vladder takes another. Esteem goes down 2. 2 of your players clearing by cash go down, and now it's just JJ, and never mind. Acid, with support, is able to finish him off. Now it's X24 and Tater alone in a 2 versus 5. I actually have no clue where Tater is, because I know X24's in Cafe, obviously. Not quite sure where the sledge is. By the sound of his gunfire... Oh, he's actually still on the balcony.
Oh!
Close angle being taken by England does not work out, but that's a great swing by Vladder. A 3K on the round for the Jaeger. He's looking for the 4th. He won't be able to find it, but with only 11 seconds left, there's not much chance for Tater in this round. He'll whip out the sidearm, able to down off 1, but can't find the 2nd, and is eventually finished off by Gasher. Wichita Oblivion with round number 2 off the back of a 3K from Vladder. Sorry. Yeah.
I just checked a poll that's currently being run in the CCS Twitch chat, which I don't know if they were saving this moment for a fun fact for us or not, but I'm about to spoil it because I'm just that cool of a guy. The duo name that everyone is settling on is Calibro over Crowliber, apparently. Are you cool with that? Is that the... Because I'm not a huge fan of ship names, but if we had to be called something collectively, Calicrow?
That sounds like Calico.
It does. Calibro.
I don't know if I like cats.
The only thing I don't like about Calibro is it sounds like bro, like you're my bro, but it's spelled brow like eyebrow.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll workshop it.
See, the thing is, I've got a lot more. I have 3 syllables, Caliber, and you've got 1. So theoretically, you would want to put your 1 syllable where it's most prominent, which would be the C, the K. So that's why Crowliber makes the most sense to me, but no, but that makes it sound like crowbar in a really like out of body sense?
I don't care that much. You guys can call us whatever the hell you want.
Welcome
You
to
can
late
call
night
us
CCS,
idiots.
where this is
I
a
don't care.
relevant point.
5 seconds left.
You guys just call it. I mean, if you just call us idiots, then you know it still has the same effect at this point.
It's very true.
But 2-0 for Wichita Oblivion. I mean, it's theme park. It's defense on theme park, so it's pretty standard. The one round though, I mean, the 2 rounds they have won are both really off of some good play by Vladder. You know, round number 1, Vladder upstairs on the roam as Capcan, kills 2 people and lights JJ up to 1 HP thanks to his Capcan traps. Round 2, 3 Ks as Jaeger inside of initiation. He's been the star performer so far. He's already got 5 kills in 2 rounds. Excellent job from him. Will he continue his high-flying performance? Because if Project Neo can shut him down early, then that just might be the big enough blow they need to take a round off of Wichita's defense.
Hater's already taken a massive chunk of HP from the
This
Vladder
is
peak, but he'll
odd.
just go back up. He's holding it with, wait, Top Dragon with 1 ADS or 2?
I think he's got 2. This reminds me of like a generator hold.
Yeah, which I think
Or a
is...
pillar hold on Oregon.
I like how aggressive it gets, and considering he already did a lot of damage to Sledge, he was really hoping to get the frag as opposed to just doing the damage. But he does have coverage from down below. Wetmeat can also just chuck a C4 at the Top Dragon unless he gets pressure, which I think he is from maintenance, so he will actually rotate back in that direction, see if he can't put more pressure on from... Sorry, not from maintenance, from Gong. That's where these outlines are looking at. It's a little blurry on my side, so apologies for not getting the call out correct. However... England's still sitting downstairs waiting for his moment as it's Blaz and his Steam to try to force him out first. This should be the area of approach for Wichita. Sorry, for Project Neo to clear out prior to moving onto the bomb site proper, and they're spending a lot of utility just trying to clear out England. Here comes the push. Blaz is throwing all of his flashes, trying to create a little bit more distance, and he finally does as Wetmeat rips out the Nitro Cell, and it does not fall where it needs to, and Tater is also putting on a lot more impact. However, Indy has fallen across the map, which means Neo retaining an advantage, but you can just rotate all the members of Wichita back to site and see if you can't try to create a little bit more space. CZ trying to do that exactly, and his Steam makes him pay for it.
Indy was the first pick, and now Project Neo have found 3 in a row with no answer back from Wichita Oblivion. Gasher and Vladder, dynamic duo, left to pick up the pieces. Vladder already has 1 kill in this round, so he's found his frag. He'll likely find more if they choose to peek him 1 by 1 like they have been, but he'll take the aggressive stance by the doorway, and it proves ill-advised. JJ takes him down, and now it's all to Gasher. He'll find his Steam, who just tries to drop the hatch with no info, but X24 is there for the refrag inside of waiting room. Project Neo take a much better round number 3, as Wichita Oblivion maybe get a little bit too over-aggressive.
What is it with CCS matches having deja vu? In terms of, like, round for round deja vu from one map to the other? This happened last week when we opened up the CCS season on Tuesday. If you cast your mind back, it was Moneyball versus Glow Up. That had rounds go the exact same way almost both times, if I remember correctly. So does this one. It was 2-0 from Wichita on defense. It looked really, really well put together and well kept. Then Project Neo comes back with a really, really good round on attack. So if the formula holds true, now at this point, Wichita Oblivion are about to win the next 5 in a row, and Neo won't be able to do anything.
Dude,
If
what
you
is it
believe
with
in
CCS
superstition.
and deja vu?
I don't get it.
Like, we saw this same thing, right? We opened up CCS last week. It was Moneyball. And we saw the same... Okay. I'm gonna stop the video. I couldn't remember.
I was
couldn't
prepared
remember.
to go with the rest of the show.
I couldn't remember what you said after that. Like, it just kind of blurred out, so I just gave up. It's whatever.
Oh, it was so good. I was literally about to just shut up and just let you do it.
I don't know, I was gonna keep going if I
Dang it.
remembered. I should have like scribbled like shorthand, so I had a script to go off of. But I mean, finally it's around for Neo. This is kind of what you usually see from theme park. You know, you take the 2 primary sites, lose your 3rd site. Office is considered to be probably the weakest of the main 3, if we're excluding Drug Lab, because Drug Lab still kind of is an off-site. I don't think it's been as played as the normal standard 3 rotation. But Project Neo looking to take Throne. Now, last time this happened, it was a 3-for-3 roam clear in just a minute and a half. But Vladder is not on Capcan. He's not going to be a demon with the 9x19. He's going to be on Vigil instead, so though he won't have his Capcan traps protecting him, it'll be a little bit harder to track down. But as I say that, no! An ill-advised jump out! He hits the air jab, though he's able to down a Steam. He's quickly fragged out by the repelling Thermite. JJ, the Steam will be recoverable. JJ is just very wary of a follow-up run out, but still, Vladder going for a very aggressive play, feeling himself. Doesn't end up working out.
Gasher's done this before too. I think he's trying to go for the down. Will the Nitro be able to connect? No, it lands too far. Gasher did jump out of break room window prior, but he wasn't able to secure Blaz, who was on the exact same repel. So he won't go for it, at least for the moment. CZ will clean up X24. So this is a 4v4, but it's a matter of what Gasher decides to do in break. Will he run back out? I think he might be listening for the sound keys, but now here's an adaptation we didn't see all of Consulate. All of Project Neo have recognized it's time that we move across the map and try something different. So far, Gasher's alone by himself in break. Tater actually might be able to put some pressure onto that side of the map if he wants to move in a little bit quickly, but it's a matter of whether Project Neo have the drones necessary to secure all of the top floor, which for the moment they don't, because CZ and Gasher are still on one side. They line up almost perfectly, but CZ still finds the kill, and down goes the Thermite. Diffuser needs to go in someone else's hands. The Steam currently has it, but to lose Thermite like that, when you had two players line up almost perfectly, is not the way you need this round to play out if you're Neo.
Especially, I mean, all you've lost on Wichita Oblivion is the Vigil, and it's still taken 2 minutes for Neo to clear this roam. So if anything, you didn't even need him to waste the time. I mean, sure, if he was still up, maybe he would have wasted a little bit more, but beggars can't be choosers. Now, Tater, who's still trying to open up the ceiling to search for picks, the hatch inside of barrels will fall as well, but Gasher can play close to the shotgun and just wait for the drop. Anyone that comes in contact with him will likely not win that fight. You've still got the anchor duo of the Maestro Smoke up as well as the first gas grenade rings out. 30 seconds left, and that's perfect timing for England. Indy now trying to pressure. He'll break the barbed wires. Another gas canister goes out. A Steam with one frag. Despite the low HP, he finishes off CZ, who got that entry pick on X24. Gasher also lit up. I'm not sure from where, but he'll position himself inside a split, and he'll take the shotgun onto Tater. Acid as well with another kill, and there's England with the last one. All three remaining players of Wichita Oblivion chime in. They'll take round number 4, continuing their 2-0 record on Throne.
It's looking a lot like
Christmas. You kind of had the inflection like you were gonna sing the song.
I think I was about to turn it into a joke. I was gonna be like,
I was feeling it.
It's looking a lot like deja vu because Wichita Oblivion won that round. Anyway, I'm trying to teach myself how to sing, but I have performance anxiety, so I'm gonna shut up.
I see. Another poor roam clear from Neo. I mean, they got Vladder early, and then what was it? CZ got 2 upstairs.
Yeah, he did, because you got 1 kill top of Cafe, and then he got the other one with Thermite. By the way, Thermite being the one to force the issue at the top of Arcade Stairs and go for those picks. If there was anyone else who could have forced that issue, that probably would have been great. But why is Thermite roam hunting? Like, sure, if you're confident enough in the gun skill and the weapon that you're using, then surely the operator pick itself probably doesn't matter, but I don't believe either of those exothermic charges were used prior to Thatcher being taken, Thermite being taken out of the equation, so might be a little bit of confusion on the side of Neo, and they're just kind of throwing bodies at the problem and hoping that it works, and so far, throwing bodies at Wichita Oblivion is not the play. With the guys who are on this team, with the role that they have been on over the course of 2 maps, Neo have won a combined 2 rounds over 2 maps. And we're on round 5 of map 2. You need to play a little bit more conservative, not be as crazy with where you're positioning your players, because it is costing you big time.
Yeah, I think that's just a testament to, yes, Project Neo are an extremely structured team. That's in relation to the rest of T3. Wichita Oblivion Wichita Oblivion is the phoenix that rose from the ashes of Poached, who, again, I've said it time and time again, if they didn't get screwed over by ID issues, there's no doubt in my mind that we would have seen Poached and CL instead of Bracket Blast. No hate to Bracket Blast, but I think Poached were just an extremely powerful team that would have gone all the way, and that's kind of displaying their prowess here right now as Wichita Oblivion. And already, CZ is going to die, though, thanks to a Steam. Where the hell? Oh, a Steam is in bump! What? All right, a Steve is just in the site, but never mind. I was getting hyped for no reason. It was very short-lived. Gasher will retake the position, and now, I mean, Esteem gets his 1-for-1, but that's kind of all there is to it.
Gasher and playing inside bunk, name a better duo. I'll wait. Sorry, did I say bunk? I meant break. That's not quite what I was trying to go for. Vladder gets a little bit crazy on the peak in X24. 2 kills inside of Cafe will net him and his team an even bigger man count as England tries to hold on to the top of Arcade. Gasher across the map still grabs one. A really, really good pick from England. Now turns back into a 2 versus 2, and Project Neo cannot allow this man count to slip away from them. This also happened on Consulate numerous times when they had a man count up, and now it falls on Blaz and Indy to make something happen. 2 versus 2, still plenty of time. Diffuser in their control, and both players of Wichita Oblivion's position should, at this point, be reasonably estimated, as Gasher still are on the break room side, but he is coming back into position through initiation, and now Blaz alongside Indy trying to put pressure on England, who's just kind of trapped back in the corner. The Vector is not his friend this time. The AK-74 wins out the fight, and now Gasher in a 1 versus 2 trying to stick in the same spot. He's tucked into a corner where Project Neo might not expect him to sit with 2 kills left to find, and there's still plenty of time. But both of them are actually grouped up. Now, one of them splits. He's trying to save it for as long as he can, but Blaz grabs the kill instead. The shot with the SMG-11 can't connect. And now, finally, the bleeding has been stopped a little bit by Project Neo.
Gasher!
How do you whiff that shot?
Gasher! No! Not like this! Even stunning. Gasher had the round in the palm of his hand. He played it so patiently, just a little bit too patient. JJ, who turned to face him as he got the plant down, sprung up, and Gasher's aim was just a little bit off the mark. Didn't hit his head. Stopped firing because he thought he got the kill. I mean, we've all had those moments where we shoot at someone, think we got the kill, and we didn't, and we end up dying as we turn away.
That's true.
That happened to Gasher just now, except in a comp game. Now,
I was about to praise his trigger discipline and his positioning, because
it was
you don't expect someone to run back to where X-Kairos just blew open the whole wall, but he does. Smart place to play, because someone's got to come in and plant, and someone's got to rotate. He almost kills the planter, then gets the swing, but you got to complete step 1 before step 2, my man. It's just... Oh, that's going to be on Twitter later.
that was just unfortunate.
Sorry, Gasher.
JJ with a good reaction, I guess. I mean, shouldn't have been able to react like that, but hey, he did. So great job. Kudos to JJ for being like, oh crap, and shooting him.
Also, can I mention one thing I'm noticing? And this might just be my ineptitude at T3, and if it is, I apologize, but I want to learn something.
What?
Blaz running red dot on every gun. Why?
That's just a JJ thing.
Okay.
He likes red dots. And as we talk about him, Caster's Curse, Vladder is just going to sprint out on a Dragon Balk. How many times
I'm sorry,
have we
JJ.
seen people spawn there and get run out by Dragon Balk? 2 made it a count. JJ just not expecting the peek from Vladder. If there is anybody on Wichita Oblivion that's going to be going for a spawn peek, it's him. It will net him a kill, and likely the most influential kill this round, is that's your only hard breacher off the board.
You're only hard breacher, but you need to start adapting a little bit quicker than you have before, which is something that Neo have not demonstrated a very quick ability to do so far through 2 maps. They did it on Theme Park a couple of rounds ago, but it was still met with the Wichita Oblivion win. They did almost none of it on Consulate, so now there needs to be a quick call made, and the strategy needs to be adjusted quickly. X24 versus England. He's sitting inside barrels. This will probably be a fight that will come up in the next couple of seconds. Gasher's still looking for a peek outside on the window, but X24, he's acquired all of this space by himself, but his position has been acquired by England. So I think this fight downstairs actually might be a lot more pivotal to whether the roam can be secured for Neo. If X24 gets caught out here by England, which it seems as though he might, the quick flick! X24 grabs the frag instead, turns it back into a 4 versus 4. This is already looking a lot better for PN, but CZ grabs one more on the balcony to turn the man count back in WO's favor. The minute and 18 seconds, Project Neo have Diffuser, 2-man up, never mind, it's just... There is a trade. X24 is trying to put all the work in back across the site by himself, but might not be enough.
I'm in awe that you just called them PN.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
When I look at clan tags, is that gonna get clipped too? God, man.
Yeah, I don't know why JJ wanted .pn instead of .neo like the other Neo teams were, but hey, he'll have to live with
I would have been
the
fine with
shame.
P Neo. Wait, shoot.
Okay, X24 is on 1 HP, and he'll try to make his play from the back site. Open up the castle barricade, revealing his position and his intentions, as Indy taking the fight will take a little bit of damage from CZ. In fact, he will trade damage. But the mirror window will be open, so Indy may be a little bit more comfortable pushing into that angle now that he knows that it's not just a one-way angle. But as I say that, CZ on the pixel will drop Indy, and it's just X24, 20 HP, and a dream against 3. Against 3 pretty damn good weapons. I mean, even the against a 1 HP player is pretty good. Wow! That was actually pretty nasty. But he's only got 5 seconds left, so it's not like that kill matters anyway. He's going to try and take the fight against CZ, but the Vector at that close range with that little HP, that's not going to go your way. Wichita Oblivion will end up taking a 4-2 half, just what we expect from Theme Park.
So the idea behind going for a map that is not very common in T3 kind of goes like this. It's a defensive-sided map, so you're already kind of expected to win the defensive half, but really good reason for wanting to go back to it more often than not has to be because your attacking strategy is up to par. But it's still a 4-2 half anyway, and it wasn't a half that Project Neo were able to win on their attacking side. So the balance is a little bit out of whack. It's normal for Theme Park, it's just not normal when it's your map pick. However, it's not as though we need rounds to head to overtime. It's something that Neo can absolutely still win. They can win all of the rounds here in a row. They can drop one more and still have a chance to win 7-5. It just means it's a little bit more of an uphill climb. So let's see exactly what they're made of on theme. The reason that they've gone back to it, what's their record on it? 11-1 over the course of the past 3 to 4 months?
On Theme Park?
Theme Park.
11-1, including quals, just formal league play. They are 8-0.
There we go. So that's already enough reason to believe, or to hope, that they have the confidence heading into Theme Park to pull some magic out against Wichita. The problem is, though, they haven't been able to do much to stall Wichita's Oblivion. Both of their attacking rounds on Consulate turned into rushes at about the minute-and-a-half mark. By that point, Diffuser was almost onto site, was in place to go down, and Wichita had positions and crossfires and everything all set up. That might not be the case for Theme Park because it's more labyrinthian. There's a lot more of a maze to consider than there is for Consulate, which is just one squishy boy. So this could turn into Neo's advantage, provided Wichita need to take more time, because that was the reason they were able to win both of their Consulate attacks on the previous map.
Now, Wichita Oblivion, though, interestingly enough, maybe expecting aggressive play from Project Neo. We've got Dokkaebi and Lion. That is not fun to play against. I didn't know you could get up there, but Vladder will do that. I don't know really what angle that... I mean, I guess you can see into the doorway a little more comfortably because no one's going to expect that, but Gasher will be ripped off the window. Well, he'll drop the diffuser outside, but Tater has also been dropped on the floor. He can be recovered as there is a shield to cover him and facilitate the pickup. I think he was actually down by the DMR acid as he'll try and just burn away the utility. Tater will be revived, and there's the first Lion scan, but Indy has taken up his position, so still, Cafe will remain tentatively in the control of the defense.
Still have the hard breach charge in CZ's back pocket as well if you need to get a wall open, which might still be possible, but it means you gotta get to the wall to be able to do it, but CZ's downstairs trying to get picks of his own instead of going for the wall, but that still might be the play because Hibana, or Ace, was not able to do anything with those summons before getting taken down. 2 kills, make that 3 kills, 3 versus 2, now again in Wichita's favor, and so far, CZ, Vladder, and Acid are all trying to storm back in. Acid with so many kills on the DMR. Dokkaebi comes up huge, and Acid with another couple of kills to prove why he's worthy of that top 80 hard record.
He hit him with the 360.
He did, though.
Oh my god, he had the style on him, huh? That was great play from Acid. I think getting 3, if I'm not mistaken.
At the very least, it was 3, because 1 came earlier and the last 2 came right at the very end, yes.
Yeah, CZ got 1, Vladder got 1. I think Acid had 3 there, so.
Look at that. His overall KD through 2 maps What was
So
he? He was 10 and 4 on
How
console.
many kills did he have there? He had 9.
10 and 4. He's 6 and 2
Is
currently.
that so? Oh no, I was looking at Flatter.
Yeah.
So Acid currently has 16 kills in 15 rounds.
16 kills and 6
Locate and
deaths.
defuse bombs.
That's not a great stat line.
Attackers have located
That's
a bomb.
not quite a 3 KD. It's what, a 2.85 KD? Over 15 rounds? My math.
16 and what was? Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. 16 and 6.
16 and 6, yeah, over 2 maps.
16 and 6 is a 2.67 repeating, right?
I was close. I said 2.85, but I know my mental math's not as on par as yours is.
16 and 6, yeah. 6 and 6 is 12. 4, you're 4 out of 6, which is 2/3. So yeah,
All right.
2.6667. 666 repeating. So you round it up.
So still guaranteed the best KD of anybody in CCS thus far.
His KPR has dipped though. He's now at a 1.06
Attackers are heading out to
repeating.
defuse a bomb.
True.
Unfortunate.
If he gets 2 more though, then it puts him at 1 kill per every round, at least through 8 rounds, because he's currently sitting at 6 kills. Welcome back to math class with Jacob and Crow. Crow's trying to teach me, and I'm the student over here trying to bumble my way through Algebra 1.
Algebra 1. I took that in 7th grade.
I took Algebra 1 in 8th grade.
Loser.
Ah, hey!
CZ's dead. Tater with the first kill. Mozzie, an operator that he is very familiar with since his days on Versity. Now playing with the 1.5 on Aroni. So down goes the Lion, an operator that I'm not sure if they really made the most of his scans, but CZ was certainly doing very well with the DMR. But Esteem playing on the Mute. He'll find the C4 kill over top of the wall. A great arc onto Gasher. This drug lab hold is something we saw from Project Neo last week, where they extend into Throne and hold on the top floor as well for as long as possible. And so far, at least through the first 2 engagements, seems to be slightly stumping for Wichita Oblivion.
And that's 2 kills coming with less than a minute expended as well. So, at least on this one, Wichita are trying to get a little bit more aggressive, and it doesn't really pay off. But 1 more kill for Vladder, and he forces in, but can't locate the crossfire as he tries to find one behind Throne, and all the rest of the kills going the way of Project Neo. That entire kill feed fills up blue as Project Neo attempts to equalize at least a little bit more, but it all depends on this throne room control. Remember, on a drug defense, by the way. They were still trying to secure a room on the same floor as the bomb site, but hadn't even gotten close to the bomb site yet. So that is that what Neo were doing last time that they were on Theme Park?
Yep. Dude, what is it with CCS and Deja Vu? No, I'm not gonna go into it.
It doesn't apply this time. Wait, what?
I mean, it does, because that's what they did against 7 Spades. They held Lab, they held Throne, and 7 Spades all died on their Throne clear.
Wait a minute. What is it with CCS and Deja Vu?
Didn't this happen last week?
This happened last week. Can I, Rob, if you're listening, can we get that on a t-shirt, please?
What is the CCS and Deja Vu? New merch idea. Fantastic.
Didn't they do this last round on the back, please? Oh my god.
Well, Wichita Oblivion finally stumped by Neo on a defense. Just couldn't get through Throne. Just like 7 Spades. So, Office will be the next defense for Neo. Not opting to go bunk again, and just like last time, not really defending Throne at all. Typically what a lot of people consider to be, one of the stronger sites on Theme Park. Probably tied with Bunk, I think. A lot of people consider Throne and Bunk on the same tier. Not taking Throne for, whatever reason. I honestly think Throne would be a pretty good site, considering, the roam clear would be savage from Wichita Oblivion, of course, with the Lion and the Dokkaebi, and a lot of that site does revolve around your top floor presence, but they are only taking Ace. You can deny those walls. Like, if you can deny barrels and you can deny maintenance, then they're forced to come through yellow. That's a bottleneck. Who knows? Project Neo just not comfortable with that site, I guess.
Yeah, and even losing the hard breach is something that Oblivion have been okay with so far. When they were last upstairs, or Project Neo were defending Bunk, I believe it was. and Gasher was still the first person to get taken down. CZ was able to still worm his way in and make a whole bunch of impact, but they didn't even need to use the Lion's hard breach charge because Acid popped off. So they're cool making things work, but if it has to come down to a clutch from one player every time, it's not the most reliable source of being able to win rounds if your hard breacher dies. So still, try to keep Gasher alive for as long as you can.
C4?
CZ's in a really bad spot. Indy from below. Is he going to rip the Nitro? He has to do this now before the Lion moves position. He still has his scanner out, but he's already now away from the floor, at least for the moment. Is he aware of this? He gets taken down to 20 HP. He takes too long. Does Indy trying to ascertain his position, and it doesn't net well. And already Vladder and Steam, 2 kills. It's a 4 versus 4, but it could have been a 3 versus 4 in Project Neo's favor if he had pulled the trigger a little bit sooner.
Yeah, Indy just being very tentative. He knows that the Lion scan was coming out, so he's very worried that they were going to push off of that and he would lose his C4 chance, but JJ's there with another kill of his own. He'll fell Gasher. CZ's still very lit up, and Diffuser control forfeited inside of Bunk. Another swing will come in. The Dokkaebi wins her fight as Tater will finish off what was left of CZ, but now Acid is very low himself. He and England, yet again, the Rise Nation duo, being the last alive to pick up the pieces that Wichita Oblivion had left for them. Tater, the only player with damage on him, although Indy is really just an ump. He's not playing downstairs. He has no C4, but of course this is an office defense, and Wichita Oblivion have just taken Bunk control. They still have another layer to peel through. 45 seconds to do it. Trying to drone out. They've got one drone between the two of them in the pocket of Acid. Well, it doesn't look like he's too keen on using it just yet, holding the angle above the shield on the player who's tucked inside of control. I believe that is X24, if I'm not mistaken. He's playing very passively. I'm very happy that X24 is a pretty patient player. Here comes a flash to burn out one of the Wamai discs, but that'll allow X24 to cross. He'll take the aggressive engagement and be tagged up by the DMR. X24, you do not have to be the aggressor in this situation, and Tater, as he takes out England, will leave Acid in a 1v3 with just 10 seconds left and just 1 HP to work with. Will be collapsed upon by Indy. Project Neo will take round number 9, bringing us ever closer to a tie score.
Trying to equalize, map where they know that they're strong, and the thing that you don't want to do if you're Wichita is allow a team like Neo who keep on going back to theme park time and again. It really is their trump card for when they're in a moment of turmoil. They need to not allow them to get this momentum streak going any further than it is. They need to win these next 2. They need to do it definitively, because if I remember what you said in the pregame, Crow, you said that if Wichita Oblivion or either of these 2 teams were able to win in a pretty decisive 2-0, then maybe, just maybe, they'd have a chance to defeat Aerial Arise in the upper bracket finals, happening in just a little bit. I think it happening next week, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, but if Wichita Oblivion can't close out in these next couple of rounds and Neo bring it back to maybe overtime or even a straight win, does that still diminish Wichita's ability to beat Aerial Arise later? If they were to win the series, I should say. What's your honest opinion on that?
I don't know. I still think no matter what, Aerial is going to have the edge. If Project Neo can complete the comeback on this map and take a convincing cafe, then I think my faith will be restored.
All right.
But right now, Wichita Oblivion are looking like the better team, even if Project Neo win theme park.
You can see it is their pick. It's something that they wanted to go back to. It was a 4-2 half. However, Neo have begun to bring things back. So far, through 3 rounds on their own defense, they are 2 for 1. And when they lost their 1 round on defense thus far, that was because Acid popped off with Dokkaebi's DMR. Maybe not because it was necessarily contingent on strong team play from Wichita's part. However, they still are working as a very solid team. A lot of their coordination does appear to be on point. Neo is just kind of everywhere Wichita doesn't need them to be. So it's less of a coordination issue and more just making sure that your roam and your intel game is as strong as it possibly can be. I don't know why Acid is just losing drones to someone on a deep roam like that. However, it's not the end of the world. You can lose some intel, bait the rest of it, but you can't lose all your drones early on. Vladder, the opening pick onto Blaz, but does get traded, at least for the moment. He cannot be resurrected as Tater peeks from the doorway and picks him off. So a 4 versus 4. You trade your smoke, though. A really, really good pick to start things off for Wichita.
That, I think it was a very similar aggressive play to what he did last time when he got the first pick onto a Steam and then got traded off and went 1-for-1. But yeah, like you said, this round, a much more influential operator has been taken off the board, and just by how the scoreline is going, a much more influential player, as JJ is now 8-7, Esteem negative at 5-8. Catwalk control now for Gasher as he can exert his presence all the way down the hallway and even into the bunk door, but he'll opt to fall off, take the aggressive stance by the cafe double. As England gets one, England gets two. He's able to just walk into waiting room and find a third. On X24, it's all England, and now it's Tater in a 1 versus 4. He takes out one. Does he have enough ammo? He'll down off the Lion, confirming his kills. He'll take a little bit of damage, but peeking with the shotgun wide, he'll give his life up to England. A 4K for the Sledge as he walks into waiting room and kills everyone. Fantastic try by X24, but not enough ammo in the mag will result in map and match point for Wichita Oblivion.
England popping off, though I did think Tater had an opportunity to swing things back. It was 2 kills or 2 downs with the SMG-11, then he has to whip out the shotgun and hide for a split second, so I wasn't sure if Gasher was going to make the peak to try to finish the mute off. It was a good attempt, but when you have 3 kills all coming from one operator with no recourse and no trades, that's it's not a good precursor for the rest of the round. So we sit on match point, like you mentioned. There's only 1 more opportunity, or 2 more opportunities now, for Neo to bring things back. However, they don't have a contingency plan. There is no backup. Nothing else left in the tank. If you lose another round, no more second, or in this case, 7th chance for them to equalize. And that's to come on these next 2. They need to force overtime if they want to have a chance to force Cafe and a date with Aerial Arise in the upper bracket. Otherwise, Wichita can close things out right here with 1 more successful attack. The only thing is, we're heading back to lab. Project Neo won this the last time around. If I remember correctly, actually, Neo won both of their other bomb sites and lost bunk twice. So there's still, by virtue of what sites have and have not been played and won by Neo, a chance for Project Neo to still stay in this game if they can win the 2 sites that they've already won.
5 seconds left. Attackers are heading out to defeat
But concerned for Neon now. We need to take the next 2 defenses in a row. They were able to do so on Lab and Office, and they will try to take that double up again as they go back to Lab. I think we all remember how this went down, not only in the prior defense today, but the defenses last week against 7 Spades. It all came to Throne. You know, whether or not the attackers were able to take Throne. Every time that 7 Spades tried to attack it, that was a hard no. And the one time Wichita Oblivion has been given the opportunity to attack, that answer was also no. We'll see if they are able to adapt, though. I think Wichita Oblivion have definitely showed a little bit more adaptation to Neo than Neo have. They've been a little bit slower to it. And leaving a Steam on an island like this, he does have JJ to help so they can establish the crossfire. Wichita Oblivion can get aggressive at the right time, then could potentially take Throne.
Pressure isn't nearly as quick as it has been for Wichita so far, but they haven't been afraid to jump right into the pit of misery and try to go for picks wherever it suits them. Gasher, all 3 stumbles in his back pocket. He's the one trying to get aggressive, but he still can't find anything behind Throne. Tater will open up the scoreboard and knock out CZ. There goes the line, only 1 charge exerted in a Steam with another kill. There goes Gasher. A similar thing to what we saw last time Project Neo attacked Drug. This Throne defense is just an absolute lockout, a flawless round as Project Neo, they will not say die. We require the full 12 as the Throne defense yet again is impenetrable.
Wow, I don't know what it is about their hold, but holy crap, nobody has been able to crack that extension. And I mean, that's not even the site. That's just their roam. And beautifully coordinated it is. I mean, you have presence upstairs. You have Tater upstairs doing with Esteem. You have 1 man on site, that's Indy. You also have JJ and Esteem playing for the crossfire. Esteem and Throne, JJ inside of Armory. Gasher tries for the aggressive play. He's killed from, I believe, the hatch. That's why Acid is pre-firing it. They try to pressure through the doorway. And there's JJ and Esteem both to catch them. This strat relies not only on your coordination of the defense, but also really landing your shots, and Neo have been able to do that time and time again on that specific defense.
Protect your bombs
Now,
from being defused by attackers.
that's site 1 of the 2 that they strang together previously in the half. Try to repeat it. Go on to site 2, just like last time was office. It was just as dominant as their previous lab defense. Of course, the flawless round being, I think that might be our first flawless round of the match so far.
I believe there.
If I'm not mistaken.
No one had one on console. Yeah, you're right. That is the first flawless of the
Wow.
entire series.
And I mean, that might be perfectly timed too. Neo on the back foot. They're 2 rounds away from OT. They're on their own map pick. If they bring it to OT, they get defense first. And a flawless round might bring back the momentum just enough to let them surge into their office hold and try and bring this to OT.
Well, pressure's on for Wichita to make sure that that doesn't happen. They can end the series here, and a cafe is not a requirement, regardless of whether they may have the advantage heading. Cafe Dostoyevsky for map 3. They would much rather close things out in 2-0 fashion and end their night on a high note, rather than allowing Neo the chance to come back. So, see how they choose to handle things. We head to initiation and office. Wichita Oblivion's attack so far is multi-pronged. Gasher opens up the kill feed, and down goes his Steam, who hasn't been having the best game, but he has had impact frags in his moments, but now won't be able to do anything for the rest of the round. One more repel is Gasher with Diffuser on break. So far, Blaz has already moved into position to try to take him down, but CZ with another kill as he forces his way now through Cash. Vladder takes control of Yellow Corridor basically by himself, looking for swings, looking for anyone else to try to peek him, but no one is doing it thus far. Is a player still back behind him? A 4 versus 2 now. As X24 and Wet Meat both grab kills apiece. X24 still trying to find the swing on to break. Gasher now has entered break room looking for an opportunity to get the Diffuser down, but is being detected by that phone as now Ash is peeking, waiting for him to make his presence felt. Around the side of initiation, he can't quite find the kill, and somehow X24 wins the fight with the pistol. However, still an opportunity to move in as Indy tries to help out Wamai a little bit here. He still has some of the magnets in his back pocket, but can the rest of Wichita Oblivion move onto the B bomb side? Gasher with full HP, as is England. Can they make the approach to the site and try to get the plant down? Now a 3 versus 1 as England finds yet another kill, his 10th on the game thus far, and it all falls on X24. Position no inside initiation, no chance for recovery, trying to use the magnets to stall for time and see if he can't use a little more disruption, but England yet again, his 11th kill, sends Wichita Oblivion to the upper bracket final against Ariel. A rise in 2-0 fashion. See ya, Project Neo. Tonight was not your night.
And for the first time in official league play, Project Neo will lose Theme Park. The team to end that being Wichita Oblivion, a brilliant series from them going 14-6 across 2 maps.